unwind in upstairs of every kind. Old school thrills and modern frights. We're serving up screens for 60 nights. From ghastly new to aged gore, 2 months of chills, who could want more? It's FlickFloptober, double the dread. Laugh till you scream or hide under the bed. From cheesy slashers to eerie gold, 2 months of horror, new and old.
Welcome back to another FlickFloptober. This week we're facing the horrors of the spotlight in Smile 2, directed by Parker Finn and starring Naomi Scott. As Skye Riley prepares for her global tour, she confronts a past that's anything but forgotten, with terror following every note. Did Smile 2 keep us gripping our seats, or did we turn that smile upside down?
Yeah.
Did we?
Easy for you to say.
I know. I wrote it wrong, so then I tried to correct it as I read it. So,
One little thing that did throw me off a little, and you just brought it up, is the upside down like smile and the upside down like photography sometimes.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what that was for. I mean, I wasn't bothered by it. I was just like, why are we like zooming across the city upside down? I was like, I'm confused.
Well, let's jump into our ratings first there. If you want to do that,
do you want some Rotten Tomatoes?
Let's do that.
Real quick, Rotten Tomatoes has this thing sitting currently with the critics at 84, and the audience is sitting at 86. Gary,
it's pretty good ratings.
Mm-hmm.
People are liking it.
The popcornometer, as they call it now.
Popcorn meter.
Popcornometer. Popcornometer. Anyway.
Well, before we do our ratings, let's do a quick reminder that our rating system is unconventional. We don't hand out stars, we hand out poos and TPs, up to 5 of them. And just to add more confusion, the more we give, the crappier we think the film is. Crappier, get it? Yeah, it's dumb, but that's the way we do it. Yeah. I love that little background too. It's just not really FlickFloptober style though.
It seems so cheery.
I know it's a little happy for horror movies, but whatever.
Hey.
We are talking about Smile, so
Smile. So Gary, I'll go first if you want.
Sure.
Because I want to lead with, I didn't see the first Smile.
Right.
I tried in vain to see the first Smile, but my streaming service kept buffering. So
Yeah.
it took me about 2 hours to watch. Now I'm estimating, but about 2 hours to watch the first hour of the film, because it would play 30 seconds and then spin.
Oh my gosh, that would be like.
So I was like, I can't continue to do this. Like it was okay. This is maddening to me.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I tried. It took me 2 nights to watch that. So I was like, well, but I'll say this: it was enjoyable. I just would have liked to have seen it uninterrupted.
The right way.
So, and I think you'd said to me that you didn't really need to see. Like,
I didn't know that you would need to. Yeah, I would assume that you'd probably be able to sort of get the gist of it. I didn't think that they'd leave you too blind. Although it does pick up after the first movie.
It does. So I went in, I would say unknowing what was going on, but not fully engulfed in what was going on. So I just went in kind of blind. I'm going to watch this movie. And after sitting through the movie, Gary, I'm going to come at you seriously with 1.
Nice. I'm surprised.
I was thoroughly enjoyed by this film. Or thoroughly entertained, not thoroughly enjoyed, thoroughly entertained by this movie. It really was.
Oh my gosh. Are those notifications? Listen, can you hear those?
I can hear that.
It's annoying, and I apologize for some reason. I don't know how to stop that from happening. So let me give you mine. So I will tell you that up until about 20 minutes to the ending, this was a 1 movie for me.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this movie throughout. And yeah, we're gonna pause for a second. Hey, nothing like a dog bark to interrupt. Anyway, so
Gary's also filming Cujo at his house.
That's true. Upstairs, we got Cujo playing. So yeah. Anyway, so I gave it a 1 all the way up until about 20 minutes. I'd like to talk to you about the reason why after, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
For anybody seen this movie, I do think, first of all, I'll give you my rating. 2.5.
Okay.
It dropped a bit. And it
Ah,
dropped a bit for me feeling like you ever watched a really good gymnast routine and everything seems perfect and at the end they dismount and the dismount's awful.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like they flubbed the
Oh,
dismount
really?
in this
I am
movie.
curious because I'm trying to in my head, I'm trying to go back the 20 minutes of like, where did it turn for you?
Well,
We'll
I'll
discuss.
explain that off screen, but yeah, that it just kind of to me. There's another movie I saw recently that we might talk about, so I don't want to say anything about it right now. But there's another movie I recently saw that I thought, man, really good stuff. Love all the moments in this movie, and then the ending was just kind of like, can they not get an ending right? I don't need a happy ending. I don't
That's
need
what you and I have discussed before about books that we've read, where it's like you've got 250 pages of just intense build, and then they wrap it up in 10 pages at the end. It's like, oh no, don't just. And the killer was caught. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's rough. Now, I do want to say one more thing about my viewing experience this time. I have recently I've been going to Cinemark Theater, the Cinemark. Actually, it's funny because there's an AMC at the same distance from me.
Okay.
But I was using Cinemark because I was part of that movie program that they have where you get a ticket a month. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I've been seeing a lot of movies there. Not sponsored. I've been seeing a lot of movies there because of that. We now have this AMC theater. It's been there for a couple of years. Andy, I know that you did the A-list program or Stubs or whatever it's called. And I was like, you know what? We're going to be seeing a lot more movies more often. And that seems like the better deal for that. So I'm going to do that. I say that to say this. The Cinemark theater that I've been experiencing a lot of movies in is way different than the AMC theater. The sound was different.
Different good or different bad?
Different good. Different in the...
At the AMC?
Yeah, different in the aspect that I felt like if I saw that movie in a different place, would it have the same effect? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to the sound in this movie. The sound design of this film is great. Mm-hmm. The acting's great. The cinematography is great. There's some of those crazy shots. The upside down shots are interesting. I don't know necessarily what the purpose behind it. Others just the style.
Yeah.
But I was in on this movie from the get-go. And I was just a little disappointed with the ending. I think I
know. As you were talking, I was going over it in my head. I think I know where it jumped the shark.
Yeah.
We'll discuss.
Yeah, we will.
But I was like, oh, I do remember one part that I was like,
yeah,
cheese sauce.
But other than that, man, I like the franchise. I like the idea behind it. I mean, it's got a little bit of trope in there and some cliche things, but they do a great job with the jump scares in it. And
oh my god, dude!
And we'll talk about that too.
As adults, you know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
This isn't new to you. You could feel it. The tension's building. The camera angle's moving, so you know it's coming. And I still like, oh my god, Jesus.
Yeah.
My whole theater, the 18 people that jumped at the same time. I don't know if you had the theater experience I had was this IMAX Atmos Dolby sound. So the seat actually vibrates and thumps.
Okay, so maybe that is what I had because I did notice
like it reclines all the way.
Yeah, and it did feel like it was rumbling some. I said that to Tara. I was like, I don't know if it's the bass is so loud that the platforms, the chairs are sitting on a rumbling.
Exactly.
Or if it's like part of the experience.
Yeah.
Man, craziness.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yes. Listen, I tell you, the young lady over your shoulder, man, I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the first thing, I mean, I thought like, wow, it's like she looks like Lady Gaga, but she was fantastic. And when this started out with her being a performer, I'm like, here we go with another M. Night Shyamalan. And I was like, my head was like, oh, this is going to be sketchy because I'm not in the mood for a forced musical on me, a la Trapped or even Joker at this point.
Right.
But it wasn't. Very well done. The act. I mean, this dude overtopped me. That when his scenes, I'm like, God, man, interesting. The idea is fascinating. I tell you, the one character I truly thought was fantastic in the film, and he comes so much later in the movie, is the guy who's trying to help her.
Yeah, he was in House. That's where I remember him from, the show House. I don't know if you were watching.
I was like, I like I just liked it. I don't it's hard to explain what it is I liked about him, but I like this dude. He seemed very real, very gritty, very non-Hollywood pretty boy. They found a guy that comes across as creepy, and
Yeah,
he not creepy like in a bad way, just like sketch.
right.
But I just think her acting was fantastic. I bought her terror. I felt the terror for her.
Yeah.
And again, you and I've seen a few movies recently that have just been kind of duds or iffy at best. This one, I was on the edge of my seat a little, and I mean, again, I don't know what's going on completely in this film, but it's edgy. I was like, God, I just Parker Finn. I mean, just a fantastic job making this film, and I was really just bought into.
Yeah.
I let it all happen. It was really exhilarating for me to watch this movie.
And I think people should go see it in the theater. I think
Absolutely.
it just seems like a great theater experience. I had a great time. I mean, again, I dropped it, but I dropped it because of the way they wrap up the story.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
know what
not a
you mean.
huge knock. It's just that to me, I felt disappointed with how much I loved it up to that point.
And how about Jack Nicholson's son?
Oh my gosh, dude. Could he look any more like him with
That grin? I'm like, hey, the Joker's back.
dude, I know. One other thing I'd be remiss to not mention that the way this lady drinks water.
Oh my God.
What's up with that?
I kept thinking, like, is that an effect?
I don't know. I don't think it was. Why? It's funny because I said, hey, yesterday when I got up, because Tara went with me to this. When I got up yesterday, I always drink a thing of water in the first thing in the morning. And I said, hey, Tara, and I just drank this water like this girl from the movie. And she's like, that's still not right. Why do people who drinks water like that?
I know.
That's weird.
And it's funny because when she does it like the first time, I'm like, that's just a weird affect. Like, why would they?
Right. Yeah.
And then it does somewhat get explained later on in the film, which is interesting. But then again, that's probably a 20-ounce bottle of water in like 3 gulps.
Yeah.
Matt, I was like, I've never been that thirsty.
I am curious because I think there are times that it looks like it's really her doing it, but then there's other times I'm like, could she really have drank that entire thing that fast?
Can you imagine if they had to cut? Do it again.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And I'll say one other thing about the young lady. I think she looks better as a blonde.
Yeah.
I do. And I'm not trying, that's not being sexist or sexy or whichever you want to. It's the same. What's the difference?
You're forcing this. Anyway, go off on Spinal Tap.
Anyway, this I texted my daughter was going to go see this with her boyfriend. She's like, "What'd you think?" And I just put Smile 2. Wow, go see it.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't give her. I was like, just go see it. It's and she'd seen the first one, so she knows going in.
Yeah,
I'm going to endeavor to finish watching the first one sometime in the next couple of days.
But that might be how long it takes.
But yeah. I mean, I love streaming, I do, but my lord, it's tough when it just buffers, man. That's a real horror film for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I don't know what they call this kind of horror film, but this is a good one. The way these people die is well done, you know. Yeah. Not as gory as Terrifier 3.
Yeah, I feel like that is like a new bar that's been set, that anything I see doesn't reach that level of gore, I'm like desensitized to. So I'm like, is that gory? I think it was, but now that I've seen Terrifier 3, I'm not so sure if
I'm not bothered by it at all. Blah, boring.
Well, I say see it. Everybody go check the movie out. Come back here and let us know what you think, because we want to hear from you as well.
Yeah.
Andy, anything else that you want to mention?
No, sir. This was a winner for me, man. I love this film. I'd see this again. Yeah,
I would too. As in spite of the score I gave it, I don't want that to seem like some bad mark. Most of the movie to me was great, and I want to see more stuff like this, and I want to see more from Parker Finn. I mean, it seems, and again, the acting was great. So,
absolutely
great film. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Thanks.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.